This episode is brought to you by Shopify. No matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take your business to the next level. Shopify is the commerce platform that makes it easy to show up and sell exactly the way you want to. No need to code or design. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period today. Visit shopify.com/offer23 to get started.
This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for August 17th, 2023. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. System of a Down frontman Serj Tankain has called on Imagine Dragons to cancel their upcoming concert in Baku, Azerbaijan in September. Yesterday, Serj Tankain took to social media to publicly urge the band to call off their concert after he sent them a private letter but received no response. The System of a Down frontman pointed out Azerbaijan's petro-oligarch dictatorial regime that was starving 120,000 people in Nagorno-Karabakh, which is now being called a genocide by the former prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. Saying, quote, as the humanitarian crisis worsens with the starvation already being recorded, I'm forced to publicize this letter and their disregard for the humanitarian catastrophe. Maybe they felt they had a legal liability to play the show. Maybe they just don't care. My whole life, I have been an advocate for genocide recognition and have always said there has to be a price to pay for genocidal regimes or deniers. Another genocide is looming by Azerbaijan, and while this happens, they get to enjoy an American band from Las Vegas. Fuck that. That's not right. In a recent interview with Radioactive Mike Z, Joey Belladonna from Anthrax was asked if he's had a chance to begin laying down new vocal tracks for the upcoming Anthrax album, the follow-up to 2016's For All Kings. He responded, quote, no, I haven't done anything yet. I kind of clear the air until everything is about getting closer to that point where we need to start gearing up to sing stuff. It's an exciting time to be able to take on song from song and to really just find the best path to a great version of something or that may not be what you're expecting. For me and for the fans and the band just as well. So yeah, it's a really interesting time. I love the studio. According to BBC News, AC/DC frontman Brian Johnson made an unexpected visit to a British pub over the weekend. The 75-year-old told the staff at King's Arms in Polbrook, Northamptonshire, that he had been test driving a friend's car when he got a little bit lost. He reportedly spent 45 minutes in the pub, drinking a glass of white wine, chatting to the staff, and talking about cars. The King's Arms is a 17th century thatched public house that's been refurbished, and they shared an image of Brian Johnson on their Facebook page. AC/DC are set to be the headliners of night number 2 of this year's inaugural Power Trip Festival in Indio, California in October. Jerry Moss, who co-founded A&M Records with Herb Alpert, died at his home in Bel Air, California, according to a statement from his family via the Associated Press. No cause of death was given. He was 88 years old. A&M Records, formed in 1962, the indie label's quarter-century run included major blockbuster albums, including Carole King's Tapestry, Peter Frampton's Frampton Comes Alive, and Albert's own Whipped Cream and Other Delights. The Carpenters, Janet Jackson, Soundgarden, the Go-Go's, and the Police were all signed to A&M Records at one point. The last artist that the label signed was Sheryl Crow, who will get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame later this year. Researchers at California's UC Berkeley have managed to reconstruct a recognizable version of Pink Floyd's song Another Brick in the Wall Part 1 by decoding brain activity. It's the latest breakthrough in the scientific quest to discover the effects of music on the brain. As reported by the Genetic Engineering and Biotech News publication, the researchers at UC Berkeley placed electrodes on the skulls of neurological patients to read brain patterns and prosody, rhythm, stress, accent, and intonation, which goes beyond the spoken word. The Killers have issued a public apology after making an international snafu on stage during a concert in the country of Georgia, the the former Soviet state at the intersection of Eastern Europe and West Asia that Russia invaded back in 2008. During the show, lead singer Brandon Flowers invited a Russian fan on the stage to many boos and walkouts from the Georgian audience. Flowers was heard on stage saying, "We don't know the etiquette of this land, but this guy's a Russian. Are you okay with a Russian coming up here?" he asked the crowd. Then he encouraged the audience to think of each other as, quote, brothers and sisters. And the Talking Heads will reunite for a live Q&A celebrating the 40th anniversary of their legendary concert film, Stop Making Sense, marking the band's first appearance together in more than 20 years. Moderated by filmmaker Spike Lee, the Q&A will take place at the Toronto International Film Festival following a screening of Stop Making Sense on Monday, September 11th. The event will be broadcast live in select IMAX theaters around the world. Following the premiere at the Toronto Film Festival, the 4K restoration of Stop Making Sense will be released in theaters worldwide on September 22nd. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 167, featuring Richard Patrick from Filter, is available now.
Did you know the new National Army Museum in Alexandria, Virginia, was made possible by the generosity of grateful Americans? The nonprofit Army Historical Foundation led the campaign to build the museum, and they continue to ask for your support. Your generosity will go directly to the mission they have carried out for 40 years, ensuring America never forgets the service of our soldiers. Show your appreciation to all who have served by making a contribution to the Army Historical Foundation. Give today at armyhistory.org. That's armyhistory.org.